The 73-year-old man braved the cold to take off his pants, carrying my grandson directly into the icy river water. The freezing cold has frozen my knees to the point of redness and swelling. After going ashore, the shoes have filled the river. The toes were also severely frostbitten. Countless falls embarrassed Grandpa. The pain from the tailbone made the old man sit frowning, and this difficult road to study. Grandpa's old bones. I don't know when it will go. If hard work can make you rich. The Zanska of the Himalayas. Maybe have more say. They relied on hard-working hands, living a self-sufficient life in this bitter and cold land. There are no schools here. Many parents have realized that knowledge can change destiny. In order to allow children to escape from this extremely cold place, they have to carry a load. Change your life against the sky. Ganek has two sisters. As the only boy in the family, he managed to get a place in school. Mom is making dry food for the road, and animal waste is their only source of fuel. Father with mild mental retardation. I lit an everlasting light. Pray that this journey will come back alive. And the mother on the side was already sobbing. Noel has 3 sons at home. He gave his place to the hardest working Doka. Before leaving, my mother prepared a variety of food. The backpack full of supplies is a full 30 kilograms. Ganek's mother. I'm also preparing clothes for my son to travel. A bag full of dry food is the only ration on the road. March is also the start of school every year. There are few roads to the journey. You can only pass until the river freezes over. A night of heavy snow buried all the roads. Snow after 30 cm greatly slowed down the walking speed, smooth road and sad wait. If you are not careful, you will fall. The cold wind makes the body suffer even more. Torment. Even adults have a hard time withstanding this cold. The road out of the village is relatively smooth. The toboggan played a big role for the frozen river, but it became the biggest problem in getting through the well. Due to the trend of global warming, the rate at which glaciers are melting far exceeded their expectations. The melted blood continues to erode the leather boots. The shoes that are not stuck have been soaked in the river water. This condition can easily frostbite the toes. Father helps son wring out socks. Raise the bonfire immediately. If no measures are taken, 30 degrees below zero, it is easy to cause irreversible damage to the toes upon arrival at a village. Ika, 73, is running out of wood. The unfortunate death of his son let him have to bear the burden of the family. This year he's going to pack his bags and send his grandson to school. Although Grandma tried to stop her, but Grandpa was never moved. What? Now. The river is still surging. Undercurrents surging beneath the ice. If you are not careful, you will risk falling off. Encounter unwalkable ice. They detoured up the steep hill. This was undoubtedly fatal for the 73-year-old grandfather. The roadside stones are covered in ice. This can also cause the body to become highly imbalanced. After hitting someone, use your body to make way for children. It's the only way to get kids to work safely. When passing by a temple, Noel put hada on it. Pray for a safe journey for the children. Warmer weather. The ice is crushed, falling on smooth ice and dodging ordinary. Just then, the 73-year-old grandfather suddenly slipped. The intense pain of the rap made Grandpa frown. But even then you struggle to get up and move forward. Aging bodies have a hard time keeping up with younger people. In order not to leave the team, Grandpa can only drag a handful of old bones to follow closely. This short few dozen meters. This is the 5th time my grandfather has fallen, struggling to get up for the future of my child. The sensible grandson can only carry his luggage. Help Grandpa share the pressure, through the dark valley, to the broad river. Everyone stops to replenish their strength, the continuous melting of the ice. As a result, there is less and less ice to walk on. The seemingly calm road is actually full of danger. Once you stumble and fall into the water, if not swept away by the current. Drinking water since ancient times also warms up the body rapidly, to keep the children's shoes from getting wet. Adults can only carry them on their shoulders and carry the weight forward. When reaching deep water, the height of the river is high enough to cross the thigh. Adults can only take off their pants, 30 degrees below zero. Grandpa took off his pants without hesitation. This made the little grandson on the side worried. Every step is a test of the body's limits. The biting river has frozen my knees to the point of redness and swelling, and the lower body is already numb. This moment, let me deeply appreciate the greatness of fatherly love. Make their selfless giving. It paved the way for our lives. This is for my 73-year-old grandfather. It was quite a challenge, although my legs are frozen to the point where I can't feel anything, but still move forward with great perseverance. Every step forward. It was a torment for my 73-year-old grandfather. After arriving on the other side, the shoes are full of water. Grandpa covered his frozen feet with melancholy. The death of his son left him with a broken heart. He doesn't know how far he can go with his child. I didn't expect the old man here to cry and sob. The next section of the route is due to the depth of the river. Their only option is to walk on cliffs. compared to icy river water. Such a way forward. Hardly any fault tolerance. Underweight. They can't make any mistakes. Once you stumble, there is almost no possibility of sublimation. The smooth cliffs have little place to settle. Loose rocks can collapse at any time. As the only girl in the team, Ika is terrified and panicked. Fortunately, I have the help of my companions. That saved the day. After everyone arrived safely, and they decided to set up camp. It was a difficult 5-day drive. Halfway to Hunt City. A day over the mountains exhausts everyone. The crowd began to prepare for cooking. Everyone took out the dry food they brought with them. Simple pasta is hard to restore their strength. Even so, the kids are still eating with relish. Although the tent can block the cold wind, can't provide warmth. A few tens of degrees below zero. People can only huddle together to keep warm. High-intensity stroke. Let the children fall asleep early. It's still dark at 5 o'clock in the morning. The tent has been demolished. The little ones struggled to get out of bed. Children who have been struggling with severe colds since childhood has adapted to this temperature. Pack your bags and move on. The road ahead. The ice is also melting. The father tried to protect his son's feet from frostbite. Pick up the child and walk directly. So smooth ice. Falling is inevitable, even if the butt is soaked. But the hands that hold my son still refuse to let go. A deep water area blocked the advance again. Test the thickness of the ice with your feet. The water here is too deep. Manga, the river that crosses their thighs, is deadly to them. Such depth. If you don't go together, once you fall into the ice cave, if it is not washed away by the river, it will freeze to death. When people are at a loss, the 73-year-old grandfather decided to take a closer look. For Grandpa, adults wading in water is just a mountain. Under no circumstances should children be put at risk. Initial ice surface that can't be done with crutches. Check the thickness of the ice. After confirming 5-5, led the army and began to cross. Due to its mountainous location, the terrain is extremely dangerous. Plus, Sanska belongs to the extremely cold region and sparsely populated. It's almost impossible to build roads here. And kids go to school. It's not free either. Almost every family has a whole family. I can only support one child. Under such difficult conditions, children will appreciate it more. This hard-won opportunity to study. Before dark, the group finally arrived at a cave. This is a temporary shelter for traders. They were exhausted by a hard day's march. In such cold conditions, warm food, it can bring enough heat to the body. Tonight they can sleep soundly. Accompanied by the morning star, the crowd has already packed their bags and set off again. There is only one day left in the journey. Encounter impassable annihilation. People can only walk on smooth mountains. There was no road. It's just that more people are leaving. You have a place to stay. Once the narrow sheep's intestinal tract stumbles, there is almost no possibility of sublimation. The river in front of me once again blocked the progress. Fathers take off their pants without hesitation. Carry your child. This moment, the greatness of fatherly love is vividly displayed. The river has reached the thigh level. First you will feel numbness in your lower body. The ultra-low temperature of river water will cause the blood vessels in the legs to contract rapidly. This moment, it also successfully inspired a man to take responsibility. Although it has reached the limit of tolerance, but they can't rush. The 73-year-old grandfather was on the way ashore. The body is exhausted. He's under pressure he shouldn't be at his age. After going ashore, there was a sudden landslide on the top of the mountain. Excavators are building roads. Grandpa looked at the top of the mountain with mixed feelings. How he wished he could have one passable road. Because he doesn't know. 73-year-old body. Can you send your child to school next time? After 10 days of trekking, the team finally arrived at the hunting ground. School has been open for many days. Facing the hardships of the journey, they didn't flinch. But the difference with my son put tears on my father's face. This separation, the next time we meet, it will be another winter. Kids, it's all a strange beginning here. Perhaps through layers of obstacles, in exchange for a hard-won opportunity to study. Let children better understand the meaning of going to school. Lying on my father's shoulders, the experience of getting through difficult times again and again. Let them better understand the true meaning of learning. I hope they can change their fate through knowledge. Start a different chapter in your life. After saying goodbye to the child, father is going back the same way. This selfless dedication, it truly reflects the great fatherly love.